Welcome to Jobbed Out, the wrestling editorial that reminds you that yes, ratings absolutely matter. Sorry, NXT. February 6th, 2020, Vince McMahon takes part in a WWE quarterly earnings call. The dude has a lot to answer for, with WWE stock free-falling all the way to about $40 a share, with both his chief revenue officer and chief financial officer fired 1 week before the call, with the XFL launching at a lawsuit about conflict of interest on the horizon. Suffice it to say, a lot of people are listening, and not a lot of them are very happy. Now, in the call itself, Vince McMahon answered some questions that I actually found pretty unexpected, pertaining to gutting the WWE Network and selling its content to other big over-the-top streaming services like Netflix or Disney+. He also noted that if they do something along these lines, it would happen in the first quarter of 2020, which means by the end of April, as talks have already gotten that far. I've seen terms thrown out about this idea that they would cannibalize the network or that they could disband it entirely, and let's be real here, WWE Network numbers are down. And while the WWE has been more profitable now than ever, that profit comes from the TV deals, not the network. When the WWE hit its big boom in the early 2000s, it came from pay-per-view buys, to which the network actually hurts their profit margin. I mean, think about it. 500,000 people, just spitballing a number, buying these $55 shows, and the WWE takes half, as, pay-per-view providers gotta get a cut too. That's still nearly $14 million a show. Now the WWE Network at $9.99, assuming nobody is on a free trial month, at their current number of 1.4 million subscribers, is also just shy of 14 million. Once again, not really though because of the free trials. Ignoring that though, it sounds like a fair shake until you realize that those people subscribed to the WWE Network could also be buying the pay-per-views, double dipping so to speak. The initial reason for the WWE Network in the first place was the idea that pay-per-view was dying, and UFC definitely disproved that. Add to the fact NXT, the other big draw for network subs, is now on the USA Network, you're more than likely to see those numbers go down instead of up. And with no replacement revenue, as USA is giving the WWE exactly $0 annually for their Wednesday night show. Does this mean that the WWE Network is doomed? Hell no. It's still a great service for exclusives, special house shows like Madison Square Garden or Japan, not to mention the gigantic backlog of pay-per-views on demand. But when it comes to live events, especially the Big Four, the WWE Network is not drawing what it could be drawing. As CM Punk once said to describe Vince McMahon himself, we're looking at millionaires that should be billionaires. So how can the WWE have their cake and eat it too? A return to pay-per-view is an option, albeit an unpopular one because who the hell wants to pay $55 a month again? A lot of people have cut the cord anyway. We don't have the means, the ability, the cable to order pay-per-view anymore. Then Brian Alvarez pointed something out on Wrestling Observer Live that actually could be a pretty damn great idea. What if the WWE were to air Wrestlemania on Fox? Now I hear you, that's replacing a $10 a month show with nothing, except while the WWE Network subs bring in $14 million a year, Fox is giving them $200 million a year. We're also on a period where ratings have been going down drastically for years now. And while Vince McMahon once stated that upset fans were a vocal minority and that those fans would complain but keep on watching, ratings have dropped 60% since 2015. That's 5 years. You can't say that ratings don't matter because that 60%, they're not going to shows anymore. They're not buying merch. They're not paying for the WWE Network, and they're not bumping up those ratings to the point that the WWE has more leverage in other deals like advertising and sponsorship. So why Fox? Well, duh, Fox just had the Super Bowl and brought in 99 million viewers. Now I know, the WWE is not the NFL, but we're still talking about a larger audience than what the network already has. And if they're going to keep those sweetheart TV deals going, the advertisers, the sponsorships, and most importantly, that big time money, then they need to be seen by more people than they are now. Fox has done a great job advertising SmackDown during its other programming, more than, say, Spike ever did with Raw. And if SmackDown doesn't beat Raw in its weekly viewership right now, it's incredibly close. So if Fox were to treat Mania like it's the Super Bowl, who knows, maybe they could bring in 3 mil viewers, 5 mil, maybe more. Can you imagine 10 million people watching WrestleMania? More eyes on the product means more potential fans investing in that product. More people tuning in weekly, more people buying merch, more people subscribing to the network to go back and watch other pay-per-views. This is what Saturday Night's main event was all about in the 80s before it was completely destroyed by being thrown out on NBC with no purpose in the 2000s. It was supposed to be an off-night special that got the attention of people who probably weren't going to watch WWE's programming. You know, to sway them, to convince them to check it out. And if the biggest show of the year with all the grandest payoffs are free, a lot of people are going to check it out. Now, yeah, maybe WrestleMania is too huge, and I bet the USA Network would have something to say about Fox getting the show of shows and USA not getting representation. Maybe do a simulcast. Perhaps it should be one of the other big four. Treat it like a custody battle, I don't care. Maybe USA gets Survivor Series and SmackDown gets the Rumble. They can either simulcast or coin flip for Mania and SummerSlam while the VODs stay on the network after the fact. Yeah, you'd lose some subscribers now that they don't need to pay $9.99 for the big shows. Not that it matters, because it seems every year for Rumble and Mania they make the network free anyway for new subscribers. And people sure as hell aren't going to pay $59.95 for a traditional pay-per-view. And up in Canada before the network launched up here, it was $70 to $75 for WrestleMania. The WWE Network would still be getting house shows, the B pay-per-views, the takeovers, the special programming, Table for 3, and repeats of Legends House, but most importantly, this could spark or at least stabilize the ratings and stop that bleeding as we keep trying to get back to the point where there are more wrestling fans than people who used to be wrestling fans. Now that's just my idea though, so I do have to ask you, what did you take away from Vincent's comments during that quarterly earnings call? Are the network's days numbered, and is there a way that they can restore their former glory without hemorrhaging more money? Let me know what you think and how you would do it in the comments. So armchair bookers, it's your time to shine. For now though, I better get my shoulders off the mat, so thank you for tuning in to Jobbed Out. I'll catch you next time.